Hey folks, good morning. I'm Long Beach Mayor Rex Richardson. Thanks for joining us once again for our weekly live stream where we provide updates on our homeless emergency here in the city of Long Beach. Today I'm joined by Gregory Sanders, lead pastor of the Rock Christian Fellowship and president of the Long Beach Ministers Alliance. On Saturday, we held our fourth donation drive-through event for people experiencing homelessness. The Long Beach community once again heard the call and generously donated nearly 550 items. This brings the total to over 7,000 items donated through these four drive-through events. They've been incredibly successful. So I want to thank our community members for donating and supporting our unhoused community members here in Long Beach. I also want to thank community members for donating and supporting, continuing to support this work over the past few weeks. So now we're going to focus on today's topic. In order to guide our emergency response to homelessness, we set out to organize several focus areas and identify immediate, short, medium, long-term goals aligned under our four areas, which are increasing access to services, increasing interim and long-term shelter access, building the capacity to address homelessness crisis, and engage in our community in data, planning, and assistance. So engaging our faith community is a critical strategy to achieving our capacity building and community engagement goals. A great group of 70 members of our Long Beach faith-based organizations and city leaders met last Thursday to review the city's current actions. They identified the potential collaborators who share the vision and goals, build stronger ties of trust and cooperation, and advance their partnership. This meeting was a crucial step in our joint efforts, and I'm looking forward to our discussion here with Pastor Sanders. So, Pastor, thanks. We host this once a week, and we bring on different members of the community to share, concepts and ideas, or just report out on great work that's taking place. So, why don't you share with us some of the work that you're doing in your service?
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, Mayor Richardson. Thank you for the opportunity to share and the work that we do alongside the city. And as you said, my name is Gregory Sanders, and I am the lead pastor of the Rock Christian Fellowship and current president of the Long Beach Ministers Alliance. And, I believe that the community and wholeness has a broad range of challenges, but also a great range of opportunities. And my experience as a partner in working with the unhoused community spans from Skid Row in LA to under our bridges and our riverbeds right here in Long Beach. And in my work, I engage with organizations like Beauty to the Streets and the LA and Long Beach rescue missions, our own Care Closet, and Christian Outreach and Action, and other frontline organizations that work alongside the city to ensure the wholeness of our community. And this has given me an opportunity to see, serve, love, and live among those who suffer from addictions and mental illness, trauma, and other disparities, but we do it with dignity. And we do it with care and concern, the same care and concern that Christ models in the scriptures. And so the Long Beach Ministers Alliance have been essential partners with the city of Long Beach in providing a hand up to those affected by the rising trend of homelessness in Los Angeles County.
So that's great, and I was impressed by the work that your fellowship does to help people who are homeless. And as we mentioned before, last week we pulled together faith leaders from different parts of our city. This wasn't our first time.
Right.
I believe this is actually, we did a small one, and then we did a medium size. You participated in the medium size, and we talked about coming together for a larger day-long convening. How did you contribute to the planning of this event, and what did you learn from this meeting?
One of the things that I learned was that we still have a lot of work to do, but many hands make the load light. And so we're excited to bring together, and I'm thrilled that we have nearly 70 leaders, faith leaders there attend, representing this multi-spectrum of faith leaders across Long Beach. And so this convening was a vital opportunity for the city and faith-based organizations to learn from each other and make lasting relationships that will, I think, will allow us to even be more collaborative in these vital efforts to support our unhoused neighbors. And we learn more about the city resources and services, and even more about the amazing work that's going into getting people connected to them. And as a faith leader, we were able to share that same information with not only our faith communities, but kind of be conduits of that information to the people who are passionate in our churches and in our faith, the areas that we have as kind of our faith corridors. Right. And so it was really good. This convening really highlighted how necessary it is to bring community partners, especially our faith organizations, together to support this critical issue that affects our entire city.
It's good. I was there for the convening, and I attended all three, but this third one, I left a little bit early. I was a little bit under the weather, but it was special. The energy was good. We had, people were certainly mission focused. I certainly thought the convening was a tremendous success. Staff, I think, and you all co-created, I saw the agenda, had everything from resources and, opportunities for partnership, because if we're going to be, as we transition away from this phase of the emergency and we think about long-term solutions, we're going to need more and deeper partnerships with faith-based communities. And you mentioned it, you said faith corridors. A lot of the areas where we see chronic homelessness happen to be the areas where, faith-based organizations have deep ties. And so they're anchor institutions in this effort. And so I was inspired by the ideas that you and other faith leaders shared to help our efforts to end homelessness. Could you elaborate on how some of those, how you all came up with some of those ideas?
Absolutely. After all, it's through like this action, the action that we make lasting change. And one of the things that I did want to segue to is one of the things we're seeing is many of our unhoused are people that we've known in our churches.
Yeah.
They're generational, and we knew their moms or their grandmothers, and they have encountered some difficult moments. And so we're seeing that before it was just peripheral. They were faces we didn't recognize. Now they're faces we know. We knew their children. And so we are passionate. So as faith leaders, we're coming together to provide these corridors of hope, resource, and an advocacy and kind of self-sufficiency for our unhoused community. And I think we can do this through the civic and faith-based engagement with dignity, respect, love, and also compassion. We can elicit excitement and champions for this work and commitments to stay connected to their continuum of care. There's a great Bible scripture that says the poor will be among us always. So how do we love them? How do we dignify them? How do we line up with your vision and kind of be, kind of force multipliers in the hope and the relationships and resources of our city? We can provide resources like shelter and warming centers, as well as the basic fundamentals opportunities and safe parking and safe passages and food and housing and clothing. And we can support through advocacy for tenant protection and renters relief. That's one of the big ones, is renters' rights right now. And there's even more that we can do to support people in our community experiencing homelessness. And this convening allowed us the space to bring our heads together, build partnerships, and start putting these ideas into action. And you and the rest of the city have done a great job. I want to publicly applaud your team. They were very consistent, very considerate, very proactive. They listened. I think one of the things I like about this team is they actually listen.
Yeah.
And they'll pivot. If they hear something they didn't think of, they'll actually call an audible at the line. Teresa and all of the rest of your team, they do a great job. And so we're looking forward to working with you and on these issues for, as long as they remain, relevant in our city.
We got a great team.
Oh, you do.
In the city of Long Beach. And I'll tell you, other jurisdictions reach out and say, how are you moving so quickly? How are you finding such success? And I believe that by having a focus and a spirit of collaboration, you can overcome big challenges. And that collaboration, it sort of cultivates more collaboration, right? So I find that my role is really, as the leader, is a convener. It's It's a facilitator. It's showing that people, our city, when we're organized and focused, we can overcome big challenges, and that builds more confidence in our community. And so
Absolutely.
we've seen tremendous progress these past almost 6 months in the emergency. And I feel optimistic as we, think about what our next steps are. So I want to thank you so much for joining us on our weekly live stream and sharing your experiences from last week's meeting and all the work that you continue to do with your fellowship and your leadership at the Ministers Alliance in helping make sure our faith-based community is coordinated together. So I want to thank the Long Beach Ministers Alliance for all of their efforts in caring for and supporting our community, and thank you for joining us.
Absolute pleasure.
So now we'll proceed with interpretation in Spanish and Khmer. Thank you.
En nuestra transmisión en vivo semanal, donde brindamos actualizaciones sobre nuestra emergencia de la condición o estado de estar sin techo o sin hogar. El alcalde de Long Beach, Rex Richardson, estuvo acompañado por Gregory Sanders, pastor principal de The Rock Christian Fellowship y presidente de Long Beach Ministers Alliance. Involucrar a nuestra comunidad religiosa es una estrategia esencial para lograr nuestras metas de desarrollo de capacidades y participación comunitaria. Un gran grupo de 70 miembros de organizaciones religiosas de Long Beach y líderes de la ciudad se reunieron el jueves pasado para revisar las acciones actuales de la ciudad. Identificaron a colaboradores potenciales que compartieron su visión y objetivos, construyeron lazos más fuertes de confianza y cooperación y avanzaron en su colaboración. Esta reunión fue un paso esencial en nuestro esfuerzo conjunto y espero nuestra próxima conversación. La experiencia del pastor Sanders como colaborador en el trabajo con comunidades sin hogar se extiende desde Skid Row o el barrio marginal en Los Ángeles hasta debajo de los puentes y lechos de ríos de Long Beach. En su trabajo se relaciona con organizaciones como Beauty to the Streets, the LA and Long Beach Rescue Missions, Long Beach Care Closet, Christian Outreach in Action y otros socorristas de primera fila. La Alianza de Ministros de Long Beach ha sido un colaborador esencial de la ciudad de Long Beach para brindar una mano a muchos que se han visto afectados directa o indirectamente por la creciente tendencia de personas sin techo en el condado de Los Ángeles. El pastor Sanders fue clave en la planificación de la reunión de los líderes basados en la religión de Long Beach y asistieron casi 70 personas en representación de múltiples religiones de todo Long Beach. Esta convocatoria fue una oportunidad vital para que la ciudad y las organizaciones religiosas aprendan unas de otras y establezcan relaciones duraderas que nos permitan colaborar en estos esfuerzos vitales para apoyar a nuestros vecinos sin vivienda. Los líderes religiosos se unen para brindar corredores de esperanza, recursos, defensa y autosuficiencia para nuestra comunidad sin vivienda. Y podemos hacer esto a través del compromiso y basado en la fe con dignidad, respeto, amor y compasión. Podemos obtener entusiasmo y campeones para este trabajo y compromisos para permanecer conectados con el espectro de atención. Hay oportunidades para estacionamiento seguro y sitios para vehículos recreativos y para construir viviendas en propiedades religiosas. Podemos proporcionar recursos como refugio y centros de calentamiento, así como necesidades básicas como alimentos, vivienda y ropa. Gracias por acompañarnos. Ahora seguimos con la interpretación a Gemer.
Pasum chimrip su bong po on teng ak khniaយើងខ្ញុំសូមអរគុណបងប្អូនដែលបានចូលរួមតាមដានស្ដាប់និងទស្សនាការផ្សាយផ្ទាល់ប្រចាំសប្តាហ៍របស់យើងតាមរយៈការផ្សាយផ្ទាល់នេះគឺបងប្អូននឹងបានជ្រាបអំពីព័ត៌មានថ្មីៗនិងចុងក្រោយបំផុតអំពីវិបត្តិនៃភាពអនាថាដែលជាបញ្ហាបន្ទាន់របស់ក្រុងយើងដែលត្រូវដោះស្រាយថ្ងៃនេះលោកអភិបាលក្រុងឡុងបិចលោក Rex Richardson មានភ្ញៀវពីខាងព្រះវិហារសាសនាគ្រិស្តគឺលោក Gregory Sanders ដែលជាគ្រូគង្វាលឈានមុខគេម្នាក់នៃគម្រោងសាសនាគ្រិស្តឬក៏ The Rock Christian Fellowship និងជានាយកសម្ព័ន្ធគ្រូគង្វាលក្រុងឡុងបិចការផ្សារភ្ជាប់ទំនាក់ទំនងនិងការចូលរួមពីសហគមន៍សាសនារបស់យើងគឺជាយុទ្ធសាស្ត្រដ៏មានសារៈសំខាន់បំផុតមួយក្នុងការសម្រេចគោលដៅដើម្បីកសាងសមត្ថភាពនិងឈឺឆ្អាលបញ្ហាសហគមន៍របស់យើងកាលពីថ្ងៃពហុសប្តាហ៍មុនសមាជិកនៃអង្គការសាសនាមួយក្រុមធំនៅទីក្រុងឡុងបិចដែលមានគ្នាប្រមាណ70នាក់រួមទាំងថ្នាក់ដឹកនាំសាលាក្រុងផងបានជួបប្រជុំគ្នាដើម្បីពិនិត្យមើលចំណាត់ការថ្មីៗរបស់សាលាក្រុងជុំវិញដំណោះស្រាយបញ្ហាសង្គមរបស់យើងពួកគាត់បានយកកំណត់រកឃើញលទ្ធភាពនិងឱកាសនៅក្នុងការពួតដៃនិងសហការគ្នាជាមួយអ្នកដែលមានបេសកកម្មនិងទិសដៅរួមដូចគ្នាដើម្បីយើងកសាងសម្ព័ន្ធភាពរឹងមាំនិងបង្កើនភាពជឿទុកចិត្តគ្នានៅក្នុងកិច្ចការរួមដើម្បីជួយដោះស្រាយបញ្ហាសហគមន៍របស់យើងនៅក្នុងជំនួបគ្នានោះដែរគឺពួកគាត់មានឱកាសពង្រឹងភាពជាដៃគូគ្នាកិច្ចប្រជុំនោះគឺជាជំហានដែលមានសារៈសំខាន់បំផុតមួយនៅក្នុងការដែលខិតខំប្រឹងប្រែងរបស់យើងដើម្បីដោះស្រាយបញ្ហានៃភាពអនាថាលោកអភិបាលក្រុងមានប្រសាសន៍ថាលោករងចាំបន្តកិច្ចពិភាក្សានាពេលបន្ទាប់ទៀតរវាងមន្ត្រីរបស់សាលាក្រុងនិងមេដឹកនាំសាសនាទាំងនេះនៅថ្ងៃខាងមុខបាទលោកគ្រូគង្វាល Sanders មានបទពិសោធន៍ធ្វើការជាដៃគូដើម្បីជួយដោះស្រាយនិងរកលំនៅឋានឲ្យពលរដ្ឋសហគមន៍ដែលគ្មានទីលំនៅឬក៏ផ្ទះជ្រកនៅនោះកិច្ចការរបស់គាត់នៅក្នុងការដោះស្រាយបញ្ហានេះគឺមានភាពធំធេងដែលគាត់ដោះស្រាយបញ្ហាអនាថាតាំងពីតំបន់ Skid Row នៅក្នុងក្រុង Los Angeles រហូតដល់ក្រោមស្ពាននិងតាមបាតព្រែកនៅក្នុងទីក្រុងឡុងបិចរបស់យើងនៅក្នុងការបំពេញកិច្ចការរបស់គាត់សហការគ្នាជាមួយអង្គការមួយចំនួនដូចជា Jury to the Streets បេសកកម្មសង្គ្រោះ LA និង Long Beach ក្រុមមើលថែក្រុងឡុងបិចឬក៏ Long Beach Care Closet និងអង្គការចំណាត់ការចុះដល់មូលដ្ឋានឬហៅថា Christian Outreach in Action និងអង្គការដែលធ្វើកិច្ចការផ្ទាល់នៅខ្សែត្រៀមខាងមុខដទៃទៀតបាទក្រុមសម្ព័ន្ធគ្រូគង្វាលក្រុងឡុងបិចគឺជាដៃគូដ៏មានសារៈសំខាន់មួយរបស់សាលាក្រុងឡុងបិចរបស់យើងនៅក្នុងការផ្ដល់សេវានៅក្នុងការជួយដោះស្រាយបញ្ហាជូនបងប្អូនយើងជាច្រើនដែលបានរងផលប៉ះពាល់ដោយប្រយោលនិងពីនិន្នាការនៃការកើនឡើងនៃចំនួនជនអនាថានៅក្នុងតំបន់ Los Angeles របស់យើងលោកគ្រូគង្វាល Sanders គឺជាមនុស្សសំខាន់មួយរូបនៅក្នុងការរៀបចំផែនការគៀកមេដឹកនាំសាសនាផ្សេងៗទៀតនៅក្នុងទីក្រុងឡុងបិចដោយសារតែការជួយរបស់គាត់នេះហើយទើបកាលពីក្នុងកិច្ចប្រជុំមេដឹកនាំសាសនាកាលពីថ្ងៃប្រហ័សសប្តាហ៍មុននោះមានមេដឹកនាំសាសនាជិត70នាក់ចូលរួមមេដឹកនាំសាសនាទាំង70នាក់នោះគឺតំណាងឲ្យអង្គការសាសនាចម្រុះនៅទូទាំងក្រុងឡុងបិចរបស់យើងហើយការជួបជុំគ្នានោះទៀតសោតគឺជាឱកាសដ៏មានសារៈសំខាន់បំផុតមួយសម្រាប់សាលាក្រុងឡុងបិចនិងអង្គការសាសនានៅក្នុងការរៀនសូត្រពីគ្នាទៅវិញទៅមកនិងពេលគឺជាឱកាសសម្រាប់កសាងនិងពង្រឹងទំនាក់ទំនងយូរអង្វែងរវាងគ្នានិងគ្នាតទៅមុខទៀតបាទទំនាក់ទំនងនេះនឹងផ្ដល់លទ្ធភាពឲ្យយើងនៅក្នុងការសហការគ្នាដើម្បីជួយពង្រឹងកិច្ចខិតខំប្រឹងប្រែងដ៏សំខាន់បំផុតនេះឲ្យសម្រេចផលនិងជួយទ្រទ្រង់បងប្អូនយើងដែលគ្មានផ្ទះសម្បែងស្នាក់នៅមេដឹកនាំសាសនាមកជួបជុំគ្នាគឺដើម្បីជាច្រកនៃក្តីសង្ឃឹមផ្ដល់ជាធនធានការតស៊ូមតិនិងការជួយបងប្អូនសហគមន៍ដែលគ្មានផ្ទះសម្បែងស្នាក់នៅឲ្យចេះរកវិធីដោះស្រាយបញ្ហាដោយខ្លួនឯងផងដែរបើយើងអាចធ្វើដូច្នេះបានក៏ដោយសារតែតាមរយៈការចូលរួមពីប្រជាពលរដ្ឋគ្រប់ស្រទាប់វណ្ណៈនិងពីមេដឹកនាំសាសនានេះដែរដែលការចូលរួមគ្នានេះគឺធ្វើឡើងដោយកិត្តិយសការគោរពសេចក្តីស្រឡាញ់និងមេត្តាករុណា បើតាមរយៈនៃការជួបគ្នានេះគឺថ្នាក់ដឹកនាំអង្គការសាសនាយើងមានសេចក្តីរំភើបនិងរកឃើញជើងឯកនៅក្នុងការដោះស្រាយបញ្ហាសហគមន៍របស់យើងនឹងនៅតែបន្តផ្សារភ្ជាប់ទំនាក់ទំនងគ្នាល្អជាមួយមេដឹកនាំសាសនាទាំងអស់ដើម្បីបន្តការយកចិត្តទុកដាក់របស់យើងចំពោះសហគមន៍របស់យើងហើយជាមួយគ្នានេះយើងខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបជូនបងប្អូនអំពីការចតយានយន្តដោយសុវត្ថិភាពសម្រាប់បងប្អូនអាណាថាផងដែរបងប្អូនដែលយករថយន្តធ្វើជាផ្ទះសម្បែងបងប្អូនអាចចតវាដោយសុវត្ថិភាពនៅទីតាំងតាមទីតាំងចតយានយន្តប្រកបដោយសុវត្ថិភាពនិងឱកាសសម្រាប់សាងសង់ផ្ទះនៅលើដីនៃអង្គការសាសនាផងដែរបាទយើងខ្ញុំសូមក៏មានផ្ដល់ជូនជាធនធានដូចជាទីជម្រកនិងមជ្ឈមណ្ឌលផាសុកភាពសម្រាប់ទប់អាកាសធាតុត្រជាក់ព្រមទាំងសេចក្តីត្រូវការចាំបាច់ជាមូលដ្ឋានផ្សេងៗទៀតដូចជាម្ហូបអាហារលំនៅឋាននិងសម្លៀកបំពាក់ជាដើមបាទខ្ញុំបាទសូមអរគុណបងប្អូនដែលបានត្រង់ត្រាប់ស្ដាប់និងទស្សនាការផ្សាយបន្តផ្ទាល់ប្រចាំសប្តាហ៍របស់យើងនៅពេលនេះបាទសូមជម្រាបលា